Hi, I'm Knox. I've been playing KR Battles for almost a year now, and I've gotten to Diamond rank over multiple seasons as a free-to-play account. I recently started working on making some videos for walkthroughs on Onslaught for other free-to-play players, since I do win most of the games I play, and I constantly run into other players who just don't seem to understand it. But after this new update, I'm not sure if I even want to keep playing at all. Let's start with the most recent, most visibly glaring problem, which is the Phoenix. Now, on the surface, the Phoenix isn't a terrible design for a character, and it does counter the Green Dragon, but it does a whole lot more than counter the Green Dragon. As of right now, there's less than a handful of characters that can actually withstand the Phoenix's full attack. If you're not using one of the characters that can teleport, or of course the Phoenix itself, then you might as well not even have a character. After the Phoenix kills your character, it starts going after your units too, making it harder for even more towers to properly function. If you manage to kill them, it really makes no difference. It has the shortest respawn time in the game, and it can damage units while it's dead. It says it can heal units as well, but so far I have yet to see it actually heal anything. But it really makes no difference. Any character that can put the opposing character out of commission that quickly is pretty much destined to win. Now, before the Phoenix was released, it was pretty common to see people using the Green Dragon. His mob spawning, unit poisoning, earth shaking mentality made him one of the best characters to use. I even invested a bunch of my scrolls into getting him to level 9 because he was just that much stronger compared to the other dragons. It made me wonder, why did anyone even bother with purchasing the old dragons? Well, the answer is simple. The older dragons used to be the best. The Frost Dragon was good for Onslaught because his ability to freeze opponents made it easier to finish the wave quicker. The Black Dragon was good for Ranked because his passive made your opponent's wave stronger, and his ability to send the boss in the opposite direction would win games over decks that weren't strong enough yet to finish it off before it reached the end. And the Red Dragon was still pretty useless. It had the ability to pick on very low level players, but that was about it. As soon as you unlock a character that can dodge its fire, well, let's just say he's no longer a threat. Which is probably why they made him unlockable right away. Now they all seem obsolete compared to the new characters. I still see people using them, but none of them are winning unless they're at level 12. But if my character was at level 12, then they'd be getting destroyed just like anyone else. This isn't the only example of this happening either. Before Azra was created, the only two purple characters were the Purple Mage and the Frost Mage. And it was clear that the Purple Mage was better, not only in mobility but also damage. So that's what I invested in. After the release of Azra, I was left wondering, what should I even do? The only thing keeping this character sustainable now is the extra levels I have on him. Other than that, he's completely outmatched. Azra is supposed to be a physical damage character, but he can pierce through armor just like any other magic character, and with more speed. The poison ability is also no joke. Deleting just about any unit you want with a single touch is pretty handy, but it doesn't stop there. Before the crossbow tower was released, the Twilight Longbow was the strongest physical tower, and it made sense. It was one of the legendary towers or whatever, which is why I saved up a ton of tickets and boosted it to level 10. Then they released the crossbow, and all of a sudden it was getting outmatched in almost every ranked game, and even some Onslaught games that I played. With its matching range, matching DPS, and the ability to turn adjacent towers into piles of garbage on top of having cheaper upgrade prices, it once again makes me wonder, what should I even do? They're constantly updating this game with balance patches, so it really is hard to tell what the right way to play is. But that brings me to my next issue, which is Ranked. I'm not even sure where to begin with Ranked. Every season seems to have different rules for the same maps, and recently they implemented a new system for map rotation, separating the areas by days instead of making it completely random like it was, which I thought was a stupid idea. Rank should be determined by best overall deck, not just what you can throw together for that day. It's especially stupid due to the fact that someone could play the game all day getting to an extremely high rank on one of the easier days, then get completely destroyed on one of the harder days simply because they don't have the right towers for that specific rotation. Ever since they made this change, I've had to make different decks for different days because some maps can be handled with necromancers while others require more power. It's annoying having to switch, but I guess it's more fun than using the same pay-to-win deck for everything. The rankings themselves don't seem to matter after gold either. As of right now, I'm diamond ranked 3000 plus something, but I still get matched up against people that are in gold, along with diamond level 6000s. Sometimes I'll even get matched up against people with really high level basic cards and they end up losing round 1. And I have to wonder if they're even real people or not. There's no way they've been playing the game like this the whole time. Like how? Just how have they been able to get to diamond rank 2000, yet somehow they can't make it to the end of round 2? I just have to assume they're bots, otherwise I'll go insane trying to figure it out. No matter what your rank is, at the end of the season, everyone gets reset back to gold 0, which throws off the matchmaking even harder. Even if you've never made it to diamond, you might get matched against someone that previously made it past diamond, which leaves a huge gap between you and your opponent. They've also recently made the claim that matchmaking will now be based on tower and character levels, rather than medals, but that doesn't seem to be working out too well, which makes me wonder,
what were they thinking?
Now let's see, what should I talk about next? How about the overpowered boosters? Nah, I think the boosters deserve a video of their own, since their effectiveness is mostly based on the situation of each game. Although I will say this, fireballs and smoke bombs are way too overpowered. I don't care what anyone says otherwise. Now that the Phoenix has been introduced, I can't even imagine what it's like trying to fight one of those things with fully upgraded fireballs. Although these two boosters are overpowered, I will admit they do both help expose 2 additional problems: controlling units and enemy pathing. Trying to control your units in this game is an absolute nightmare. It's a miracle if they actually listen to you the first time you give them a command. Sometimes when you're attempting to control your character, the indicator won't show up, which can be downright disorienting if you're not completely used to it. If you're using a dragon character, you'll more than likely touch him on accident instead of a nearby tower you're trying to build or upgrade, since they take up such a huge portion of the screen. They should have an option to disable it, since it is much easier to just touch the character icon to control them, rather than touching the character themselves. You know, now that I think about it, that issue with the indicator not appearing probably wouldn't even happen if you could just disable the whole touch to control option. It all just feels way too messy and confusing. As long as you can still control regular units by touching them, you should still be capable of doing everything you were already capable of doing, without the mess. Enemy pathing seems completely random too. Watching your towers go out of their way to target something behind the wave, especially something that happens to be resistant to whatever your tower is throwing at them, can really drive someone insane. Some of the maps don't have this issue, but the ones that do are super irritating to play on. It was my understanding that both towers and units are supposed to target the unit in front of the wave, but more often than not, does this game just spit on that rule. If you played this game for a while, go back and play any of the old Kingdom Rush games, and you'll notice the difference almost immediately. Even the first Kingdom Rush game has higher standards than Battles, and that game's over 15 years old. But let's move on, because nothing, and I mean nothing, that I've talked about so far comes close to the next example I'm about to show you. And when I say this is the absolute final nail in the coffin reason for why I'm quitting the game, ooh, I mean it. Now, I'm not sure how I'm gonna explain this one since I don't know how to do them myself, so I'll try my best. I was playing a game of Onslaught against this guy, and it was just about as annoying as you'd expect, but it was still manageable. The game was very back and forth. I'd win some rounds, he'd win some rounds we tied, you know. Pretty normal stuff. He's taking damage from units as usual, he's activating his spells as usual, nothing really seemed out of the ordinary. I was struggling a bit towards the end, but I wasn't really worried. After all, the only thing that matters is taking out the boss faster, right? The final round starts, everything still seems normal. I even hit him with an arrow to stop him from hopping around. But that didn't stop him from doing what I consider the most ridiculous nonsense I've ever seen anyone pull off in this game.
Let me show you real cheese power. Crap game! What a crap-ass game!
Seriously though, can anyone else explain to me how he got a spell that has a 19-second cooldown all the way down to a less than 4.5-second cooldown? Because I certainly can't. Even calling it a less than 4.5-second cooldown is being generous, considering this is the level 7 description and everything in Onslaught is balanced down to 5, so realistically it has to be even lower than that, right? Although I can't say for sure what the true number is. I've done all the research I could possibly do, but nothing that I've read here constitutes a less than 4.5-second cooldown, so there really are only 3 possible answers I could come up with. It's either A, an exploit that anyone can abuse if they know how to, B, it's a cheater who knows how to modify the game, which, if it is, I gotta say, I'm very impressed, considering most of the players in the community don't even know how to play Onslaught. Or it's C, which I think is sadly the most likely possible answer, is a developer abusing their power, or it could be some super donor that gave tons of money to the developers, and was granted special permissions for the game. But the only thing I can't seem to figure out is why they cheated in regular Onslaught. They could have easily done this in Iron Onslaught and got more rewards for less. Like, if you're gonna cheat, why not do it efficiently? Maybe they thought they wouldn't get caught?
But I got you! I got you!
I even floated around the idea that this might be another one of the game's many bots, considering they've already admitted to using bot matchmaking. But after taking a closer look at the tag, I noticed that they were part of a kingdom, which means it's more than likely a real player and not just some bot programmed to ruin my day. I was on a massive win streak before it happened, and I haven't seen anything like it since, so it would make sense for them to send the unstoppable bot my way, but the why would still be a mystery to me. If they wanted me to spend money, putting me up against such an obvious cheater is not going to encourage me to do it. I mean, what kind of Uno reverse logic is that? Whatever the case might be, I still think it's totally unacceptable from a game that practically begs its players for money. Now I'll admit, it's not the worst free-to-play mobile game out there, but I used to have a lot of respect for Kingdom Rush as a franchise, so I had to give it a try. After everything that I've seen, I think it's safe to say that I've seen enough. The only way I could continue playing this game now would be if I got paid for it, and that money still wouldn't be going towards this game. I do regret that I didn't get the chance to cover everything I wanted to in this video, since YouTube doesn't allow people to post videos longer than 15 minutes without phone number verification. But I think I've provided more than enough proof to make my point, and it'll sure feel good to delete all these videos from my hard drive and move on to something else. Maybe I'll go back to streaming, or I may just have to do a video on the absolute worst pay-to-win mobile game I could find, because there are definitely worse games out there than this one. But anyways, thanks for watching, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I hope you learned something. Peace.